Good morning, November 720 Sierra. This is Steve outside in the garage, outside of the garage. Let's see, it is Saturday morning, November 30th at 10:40 in the morning, and temperature's hard to believe, 54 degrees here in Houston. So anyway, I decided to work on something different. Get my mind off that center fuselage, which is driving me nuts a little bit. But actually, I'm waiting for some insulation to come in from Amazon today before I can finish that section. But in the meantime, I decided to work on some seats. They were sitting in the way, and so let me just work on those. Okay. So here you can see this plate goes over top of this, like this. They've just been clecoed. These parts here, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one are numbered, and the instructions don't show a number for this one, but you get to figure out which one it is. And it is part number CHL 102. It's the seat headrest channel 1, and there's 2 of them, 1 for each chair. So anyway, I've clecoed that in, and they've not been riveted. That's the next thing I'm going to do, but I'm going to turn this over. And I have to put in a bunch more clecos, because all these things have to line up really well. And these ribs that you bend around don't line up really well unless you put a lot of clecos in them, and then just one at a time rivet them. So that's what I'm about to do. That was making noise. Anyway. So I just did it real quickly, but I'm going to go ahead and put more clecos in and get everything clecoed in, and then come back and rivet it in a few minutes. So I'll show you doing that. I got my 998 rivets out, my rivet gun, my DeWalt. Let's see. I'm just going to basically put in a cleco for every single one of these, just to make sure that everything lines up perfectly, and probably more than I need, but it's okay, because sometimes you get things will be a little bit off, and if you rivet them one at a time all the way down, they just seem to line up really well. So that's what I'm doing. Just because there's so many bends on this, I wanted to put a cleco in every single hole to make sure everything's perfectly lined up. So as you go down this bend, everything will line up very, very well if you just go one cleco and i.e. one rivet at a time. It goes up quite well. So that's what I'm doing, just to make sure I've got everything exactly where it needs to be. And for those of you up in Chicago and Colorado who are laughing at me because it's 54 degrees, this is pretty chilly for us. I know it's not for you. So Greg V, who's up in Chicago building, and Brian, who finished his sling a little while ago in Colorado, is probably laughing because I'm saying it's cold at 54. That's probably t-shirt weather for you guys, but not for those of us who grew up in southern Florida. In a second here, I'll flip this over just to make sure that I got everything covered and I don't have anything off. But there's a tab on this piece here that goes in there, so you're going to have a triple in that one spot here. So just understand that. So do not rivet this. In fact, see, this is why I do this, because this tab here just bent and did not take the cleco. So I've got to make sure that I get this right, and I can do it this way and see for sure that I get the tab in the right spot. So anyway, just be sure that you check that when you're doing this. So it pulls it in nice and tight. All right, so don't rivet these two, because when you put that plate on, you'll have to rivet it then. But it looks like everything is in the right spot and everything's lined up. So now I can go ahead and take a cleco out and rivet it. So I'm just going to start at the top, work my way around so that everything stays in exactly where it's supposed to stay as I go around and do my riveting. All right, so I was actually on this one the last time the video was rolling, and then I decided I was going down. I was going to show you just the last two, and then I said, well, I'll just finish it off and start this one. So we're at the same place I was at that one. So all we're doing is taking out as we go. I'm doing two, one on each side. It's a slow process, but it makes it exact, and you don't get any problems putting in the rivets here, and you can always check by looking underneath. So I'm just putting in the last of the rivets in this section, and as I said, these outside ones do not get riveted yet. And in a second here, we'll flip both of these over and start clecoing up the front side, and then we can rivet them. And then this side, this top of these chairs, seat rests, will be done with this part anyway. Obviously, lots more to go, but it's a process of doing it. So those are now complete, and everything's riveted nicely, and these are nice and in place. And these tabs here do bend, and so when you're putting in these clecos here, you got to bend them and put them back into where they need to be. So just be careful of that. So we'll flip these over and start clecoing in these plates. And as I said, these two clips have to come in. So it's crucial on that to get those in correctly, these plates.
KE5HMA, mobile.
And there's somebody on the ham radio locally here. And I generally hang out on what's called the 940 repeater, locally here in Houston. 146 940. And you know, probably we don't have to do every one of these, because now that it's held in place on the back side, the front side pretty much fits in really well now. And before I do these final ones down here, I'm going to rivet this and make sure that it got in correctly in this one before I do the top ones. And then I can line these up. They're already lined up as it is. I can see, but I didn't put any cubicles in them. So let me see, make sure I can get these to rivet correctly. All right, I'm going to clear drill those and see if I can get it to line up before. But just be careful of that so you know about it. All right. All right, so November 720 Sierra. I'm just finishing up, but the last four in here. These outside ones are difficult, so cleco kind of up here, and cleco here, and leave this open so you can reach underneath and pull that tab over, because I've had to do that a couple times. So you will probably take some clear drilling just to make sure. And what I did is I reached up under there, put the rivet through to make sure it went through the tab, and then riveted it while my finger was still up there. Didn't lose the finger, so I'm okay. All right, so a few more left, and I'm done with both of these for this part. Of course, there is more parts to go, with lots more on the seats. They're pretty damn complicated. I was surprised, but that's okay. And needs a little clear drill. All right, so that's it. Top part of these seats is done. I am working on the bottom seats over here. I've got some parts, but I seem to be missing a stop part in the back. We looked at the whole kit and we can't find it. So we'll look again before we call Sling and say, hey, send us some parts. But yeah, Just cannot find a couple of parts that go in these. No, you may not be able to see from over there. Okay, let me see. So we got these bottom of the seats here, and just putting parts together. But these pieces go here. There's a piece that goes here, but allowed to not let the back seat go back too far. And then these forward pieces. Well, these forward pieces I've now found. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, which I will rivet those in here shortly. But they take a little bit different size rivet. I can put those in. I cannot put these in yet because I don't have those back plates to put them in. And we can't find them. They're probably here somewhere. We'll just have to triple check because we've looked in the entire kit everywhere. We can't find it. So, all right, I'm going to close it out for now. Thank you for watching. And this is November 720 Sierra, Steve in League City, and Emily and Shiloh. And it is, I don't know, what did I say it was? November 30th. It's now 13:25, so these take a little bit of riveting and stuff, but they look really nice. I've done the front and the back, so they're all done, so they're really cool. Anyway, that's it for now. We'll work on these other parts later and get you back up to speed. All right, thanks.